All right, shalom, shalom. Like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to all you brothers teaching in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, underneath the standard and the banner of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, this is Tazi Off Jim. That's Boston coming back with a quick impromptu. I was looking at this video, Joe Rogan Experience, and as you can see, the title says, "Why are UFOs being acknowledged now?" All right, and we know them as the chariots of the Most High, and we know them to be a part of the heavenly host that's going to come and destroy various areas, and mainly Babylon the Great, along with the nuclear missiles. Now, this popped up on my feed because I watched that documentary on Showtime, okay, via YouTube, and a whole bunch of things came up on the UFO phenomenon, okay, and we know, like I said, why this is becoming more prevalent in this day. And even when I was watching the video, somebody at my job, he seen the title of what I was watching it when it was paused, and he was like, "Oh yeah, man, it's more sightings than ever now." He said these things are all over the place. So I'm gonna let it play, and then I'm gonna hit a couple of scriptures, man. And these people, they have no clue about what's about to transpire through the hand of the Heavenly Father. All right, when He brings His one and only living power, which is His Son, back to the surface of the planet, man. Okay, they don't understand anything. So I'm gonna get a few scriptures, and then that's gonna be that. But I just want you to listen to their concerns and what they think it means.
It's like QAnon being purged from the internet, as ludicrous as it may be, but we're also simultaneously being told that UFOs are something that are real and they're concerning. They're potentially a threat to national security. We don't know what they are, and it's okay to talk about that now. That is a curious thing to me, Joe.
It is curious, and I appreciate your perspective, because I think it's good to look at this from a bunch of different angles, because it's real tempting to say, well, I'm finally at a point in history. It's amazing. I'm here where the government is admitting that there are alien crafts that are off-world vehicles, not from this earth. That was like one of the quotes. That we're admitting that we're being visited. But are we? Because why would the fucking government finally start telling us without motivation, without some sort of end game, without what's in it for them to tell?
So, within him saying what he just said, the government, they very well know what the chariots of the Most High are. All right, they know who sung about these chariots in antiquity, which would be the Hebrew Israelites that they brought to the shores, disguised as Africans, okay, and put into slavery. All right, they know that these chariots, which by today's bywords, which are UFOs, belong to the Most High power. All right, this is their fear right here. Belong to the Most High power, which is Yahweh. Okay, and they will be ushering in the kingdom of heaven with His Son, Yahweh Shai. And that's why they're starting to bring forth all this information, okay? And another thing they want is to hide it underneath the guides to disguise Salaki that they want to disguise that when these chariots come forth, they're gonna need everyone to fight. All right, as one common cause. And in this interview itself, they even go into a little bit of that as they play along. I'm just gonna let it play some more.
Us about these things, unless they're so frequent and so bizarre, and so many military people are talking about them, that they feel like their back is against the wall and they have to say something about it, because otherwise they're going to lose credibility. That there's so many of these things, and there's so many, like the Go Fast video, the FLIR video. There's so many of these encounters that these very reputable people like Commander David Fravor have had with these crafts that behave in a way that is impossible, as far as we know, with any known technology on Earth in 2021. And this is the David Fravor one is from 2004.
What's disturbing about it is no matter what it is, I don't think we're going to find out the truth, and I think it's going to be exploited for...
Quick question for you. Do your feet feel better at the end of the day than they did at the beginning of the...
overt, but there is definitely something going on, because it doesn't make sense. And if it's, oh, there's so many people seeing it, shit, this has been going on for 70 years. I mean...
Yeah.
That movie, I mean, there's people like every day. One thing that I find really interesting, though, is now everyone has cell phones that film in 4K, Google Earth satellites all over the world that can zoom in on someone walking down the street. So if these things are flying over the ocean, like someone, part of the David Fravor special on 60 Minutes was saying, I saw this shit like this every day.
Yeah.
That was a literal quote from him. Why are we only seeing these grainy satellite images of these UFOs?
Well, Christopher Mellon, who used to work for the State Department, told me that they have way more shit, way more footage. They're just not releasing it.
But why? Why roll out this one and where it's this grainy filming of a satellite?
They're not sailors. It's
So, Salaki, I'm just going to pause it right there. But you can watch the rest of this interview. But it even goes in, to say that past presidents Carter, Reagan, Nixon, they were privy to these UFOs, aka the chariots of the Most High. All right, and they already know what it is because they know the scriptures. All right. So I'm going to get a couple of scriptures, and then that's going to be it, man. But notice the title, why are UFOs being acknowledged now? Because it's the end of their kingdom. It's the end of their rulership. Okay? And the one true and living power, which is Yahweh through his son, Yahweh Shai, is about to set up his kingdom upon the earth. Okay? And righteousness. Okay, with the true rulers of the earth, which are the Israelites, which are the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, and it's all documented in the scriptures, man. Okay, let me get this real quick. So it's a good interview, and it just goes to show that the people on the earth, man, they are going to be shocked when they see the actual person come off that chariot, like it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. All right. And I'm just going to bring out a couple of scriptures, man, because why are UFOs being acknowledged now? Like I said, it's because it's the end of their kingdom. So let me bring out a couple of scriptures, right? This is Zechariah 5:3, and it says, "Then said he unto me, All right, this is Zechariah saying, "This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and everyone that swears shall be cut off, as one that side according to it." So when these chariots started appearing, right, more frequent, and you heard them say that in the little interview that Joe Rogan was having with the lady, I can't remember her name. This is why they're popping up, because these chariots are about to wage war. All right, when you get a second, get that Shalaki 13. All right, it's about to go down, man. In 2nd Ezra 13, it says, "And it came to pass after 7 days that dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven," okay, them chariots. "And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him." All right? And who's that? That's Yahweh Shai. And it says, "And whosoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire." All right, so those laser beams coming down. "And after this I behold, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of a number from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea." So as the chariots was coming, from on high, the heavens, okay, because the past the firmament is waters too. It would be equated as water. Outer space is, because you can drown out there. There is no air, just like on the earth. When you go underwater here, you can drown as well. Okay, and the scripture that backs that up is when the Lord opened the curtains of heaven, okay, and the flood commenced, okay, said the waters fell from the firmaments, okay, from out of the the sea, okay, roughly paraphrasing. And yeah, so when Yahushua comes back, man, these idiots, okay, they're gonna try to run up on him and have a war with him in heaven. It says, "Behold, I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew upon it. But I would have seen the regional place whereout the hills was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst to fight." Okay. It says, "And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lift up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instruments of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests." Okay, and it says, "And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid." Okay, and that's why those chariots checking the scene, so to speak, man. And they're doing test runs, and they're, preparing for war, man. Just like you see how the military does drills or war games. So are the chariots, man. The chariots are doing the same thing, but they're doing it in the fashion of clowning these mere vessels that's going to go up against them. They letting it be known that They're unstoppable, and they won't be stopped. Okay? So that's why these UFOs are here, man. This is why they're showing themselves now. This is why the government is speaking upon it right now. Because the great war in heaven is soon to commence, man. And with that happening, you know, when you read Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, you know that Yahweh Shai himself, okay, is going to be on one of those chariots. So I just wanted to bring that out, man. So with that, I want to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to all you brothers teaching in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, underneath the standard in the banner of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Shalom, Abad Babal, and Kwam Yasharala.